Hi, I'm Christina Eve, and if it's your first time visiting my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today, we're going to continue the topic addressing things that hinder us from saying yes to what God told us to do. And if you haven't seen the video on suggestions on how to start, then I will link that somewhere above and definitely below in the description. Welcome to ShineStrong, Livelong, where you'll find inspiration for personal and spiritual development for you and I to become who we were designed to be with intentionality. Today, we're going to talk about roles, assignments, and purpose. Two of these change, but one never does. I wonder if you can guess which one that is. So real quick, let me just share some perspective. So back when the COVID timeframe for quarantine was 14 days, that's like 2 weeks, I realized a few important things. And one thing that I'm going to share with you today, and that is that life goes on with or without us. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but in all honesty, if it is God's will and we are out of position, then He can for sure find someone else to take our place. And I used to dread missing one day from work or from church or missing someone's baby shower or birthday party. But when I wasn't there, yeah, I was missed, but the show didn't stop because of me. And there is something both freeing and kind of saddening about that. And I know you're probably like, dang girl, you starting off really heavy first thing. But stay tuned, because I am going somewhere with this, because I want to free whoever is listening to me right now and feeling like they can't say no to something because it will fall apart without them, or that they may feel afraid to say yes to something because walking into something new means walking away from something that they care about. And I get it, because that was me and it still is me sometimes, but God is helping me so that I can share this with you. Sometimes I'm afraid to walk into something new because I'm afraid that my purpose is attached to the role that I currently have. So instead of letting go of one role or position and walking into a new one, I try to figure out some way for me to hold on to both. And God was like, nope. That is not what I designed for you, and that's not what I designed for your walk to be. So I did some studying. We were meant to change and grow and to walk into new roles and assignments, but understanding that none of those changes change our God-given purpose. That makes sense? A role is defined as a part played by a person or thing in a particular situation. Some synonyms are a position or a job. An assignment is a task or a piece of work assigned to someone as part of a job. And our purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Let me elaborate a little further. And let's use Joseph as an example. The life of Joseph is documented in the book of Genesis, chapters 37 through 40. I encourage you to read it if you haven't. Joseph has a very interesting life story. But during his life, he held a few roles, and with each role, there was an assignment. And once the assignment was complete, he moved on to a new role. But even though each new role helped him to complete the ultimate purpose that God had for his life, none of his roles were his sole purpose. So let's get into that. So Joseph first was a son, and as a son, his assignment was to honor his father and mother. Second, he was a slave to Potiphar, and his assignment was to obey his master and oversee all of Potiphar's land. Then he became a prisoner, and of course your assignment, if you're not guilty, is to try and get out of prison. And during that role, his assignment was to interpret dreams. Then he became in charge of all of Egypt under Pharaoh's rule. And then he became a husband, he became a father, so on. But can you guess what Joseph's sole purpose was? It was to save Israel from famine. And each role that he walked into was necessary for him to fulfill his purpose. Even when he was a slave to Potiphar and a prisoner, his purpose was still to save Israel from famine. But think about it. If Joseph would have failed at his assignment while in the role as a slave or a prisoner, he would never have been elevated to the role of being in charge of Egypt, or husband, or father, or establishing a legacy. So let's transition back to us. Now we take on roles voluntarily, or sometimes involuntarily, but just because we are in a role today doesn't mean that we will be in that same role a week from now. We have to remember that our roles are temporary, but our purpose is forever. But we won't be able to fulfill that purpose that God has given to us, holding on to roles or jobs that God is ready for us to let go of. And we will not fulfill that purpose without doing the work that it takes to finish the assignments that we have set before us. Focus may be an issue, and I know that it was and sometimes still is for me, because I'm over here asking for new roles and new assignments when I haven't completed the first thing that God has told me to do, guys. But that is all going to change, and I'm working on being more intentional, and I hope that this encourages you to do so as well, because today is a brand new day. A day where you and I have been given the opportunity to choose better, love stronger, and shine brighter than the day before. Shine strong, live long. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments some of the reasons why walking in purpose is difficult for you, and I will see you soon.